Okay, it's 6:30 p.m. Lee, would you mind calling the roll, please?
Christopher Espinosa.
Here.
April Quinn. Here. Tom Runner.
Here?
Michael Grayson.
Here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, having a quorum, let's stand for the leading.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first action up for tonight is the approval of minutes for the June 15th, 2026 monthly business meeting, the June 15th closed meeting, the June 30th special meeting, and the July 9th closed meeting. Can I get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the minutes of the June 15th, 2026 monthly business meeting, the June 15th, 2026 closed meeting, the June 30th, 2026 special meeting with action items, and the July 9th, 2026 closed meeting? Second. Chris moves and April seconds.
Christopher Espinosa.
Aye.
April Quinn. Aye. Michael Grayson.
Aye.
Tom Runner.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 4, first reception of visitors. We'll open this up for all general comments.
Okay, we're just going to do one reception of visitors this evening because we have no power. And we have one slip from Linda Bowden. Linda, you have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you're running.
My name is Linda Bowden, and I'm a resident of Downers Grove. My husband graduated from DGS in 1993, my son in 2024, and my daughter graduated in May. I'm not only a parent in the district, but also an educator with 20 years of teaching experience and a master's degree in math education. I'm here to bring attention to 2 issues at DGS that I feel are very important and be ignored by administration no matter how many times I have addressed the issues over the last 6 years. The first issue is with IEP and 504 accommodations. Imagine you're 15 years old sitting in a high school class taking a test, and as much as you try and rush, you just can't read it fast enough to finish. You start to panic, and then you're hopeful because you have an IEP and know you have extended time as an accommodation. As the class finishes and the bell rings, you try not to be noticed by others as you approach the teacher and ask for extended time. The teacher rolls her eyes and tells you there's no reason you couldn't finish it already. You remind them of your extended time, and you just ask to finish in your LRC, and you have an annoyed look on their face, and they tell you, fine, or no, you've had enough time. Children with IEPs and 504s have accommodations that allow them to help be successful in school. The problem here is with the attitude of many of your teachers when it comes to giving these accommodations. Both my children have experienced both teachers who ignore the accommodations or rude or argumentative. My daughter had a great case manager who we would contact to get help for the situation, or I would help her advocate for herself. But these are legal documents that must be followed. My children also have me, a teacher myself, to help them advocate for the accommodations, encourage them to stand up for themselves. But not every student has guardians that are involved or knowledgeable about the system. I'm here to speak up for them. This issue has been brought up to department chairs and both the principal here, when my son was an underclassman, as well as the current principal. They seem to be understanding and agree that they need to be followed, but ultimately there's no follow-through or training as a staff, as this not changed in 6 years. One department chair even offered to do the accommodations himself. How will you make the teacher do its job? My children are not the only ones that have had this issue, and it's often discussed by students with IEPs and 504s. These are legal documents, and part of their job as educators is to help them be successful. I'm not only here to make you aware of this issue, but to challenge you to look into the scope of the problem. How about a survey? Ask the students what their experience is like with their accommodations and attitudes of teachers. Have the LRC teachers or case managers talk to them and bring you feedback. The second purpose of speaking today is to bring up the awareness to the board of the poor quality of the DGS math department. First, your made-up curriculums with your own material are very lacking in good instruction, especially in the honors track. Are you aware of the amount of people in this district that pay for outside tutoring? With the exception of select teachers, many, especially those in the honors and AP classes, see themselves as presenters of information with no real interest in the students' success and struggles. They're more content to just keep moving along, and I've actually been told that by a teacher. We just need to keep going. The math resource teacher is good. When my children did go there for help, but they need to have time in their day to go, or they miss their lunch.
It's expired. You can feel free to forward your information to me, and I will pass it on to people.
Because there's so many people here, I can't finish the list.
Calls managed.
Sure. That's part of the problem.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So it's my understanding we're skipping the recommendations of the votes and superintendents.
Correct.
So then we're moving on to the consent agenda. Before the board votes on the consent agenda, is there any agenda item a board member would like to pull out of the consent agenda for further discussion? Okay, can I please get a motion from the Board of Education to approve the consent agenda as presented, which includes item A, personnel report, appointment certified, appointment classified, transfer of position classified. Item B, personnel report, resignations classified, retirements exempt, retirements classified. Item C, personnel report, terminations classified. Item D, update to administrative regulations, section 5.271 AR4. Item E, financial pages. Item F, review of closed session minutes and verbatim recordings. And item G, student trip. Chris moves, April seconds.
Christopher Espinoza.
Aye.
April Flynn. Aye. Michael Risky.
Aye.
Don Lennon.
Aye. Motion carries. And I think all we need to do is announce that our next upcoming board meeting is going to be August 17th, 2026 here at the ASC at 6:30 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Second. April moves, Mike seconds. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.